All right, we're back at Alan's house, and unfortunately, it's about time that I head home. So before I head home, we're going to change the oil on this thing because I haven't changed it yet. We're about to hit 5,000 miles of driving, and fun fact, I have never in my life actually reached the oil change interval based off miles. It's only ever been time. I do it once a year. None of my cars see 5,000 miles a year. This car has literally seen more driving in a month than any of my cars combined throughout the course of multiple years. It's really shameful. Crazy. Yeah, it's ashamed, but it is what it is. So it's time to do my first ever actual mileage-based oil change. I haven't touched this car since I got here, so I'm gonna do a little inspection of everything, make sure it's solid and stuff. Got my Castrol 10W40 that you guys know.
Where's the liquid moly?
No liquid moly for me. And we got the beautiful O'Reilly Special Wix filter. So I guess that's better than nothing. It'll get me home. Oh, see? Dude, that is hot. Oh my god. Hey, but otherwise,
good movie.
That oil looks pretty good. No weird chunks or anything like that. I don't have a magnetic drain plug. I thought I did. But otherwise, everything underneath this car is still dry. Like oil pan, perfectly fine. The timing cover, which as you guys know, I did not reseal. No leaks. I told you guys that's a waste of time. Valve cover gasket, no leaks. Rear main, no leaks. Everything looks super good on here. AC, no leaks. Power steering, no leaks. Dude, this is the most leak-free BMW I've ever seen in my life. It's insane. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap up this oil change, then we'll get the filter out, check that out. Inspect the suspension. If I find anything, I'll let you guys know. Otherwise, we're looking pretty good down here. The oil filter, and make sure that we don't see nothing. And it's actually super clean. There's like not even, I mean, there's hardly even anything. That looks pretty clean, right?
Yeah, it's pretty clean.
Yeah, I mean, there's like next to nothing in this. So no metal, no nothing. And this is 5,000 miles of like consistent driving. So I mean, like, I'm talking 10 hours of driving at a time. That's very strenuous on these cars. So that's really impressive. So she was happy, oil's in it, car's all good to go. Time to lower it, and then I'm not leaving today, but for the sake of the video, we will head on our way back home. So we're driving to Long Beach to hang out with Stash Cam. That's a different video, but between me and Alan's E34 years of experience, we both kind of can discuss this. And the car's been kind of shaky, and it gets really bad at 55. It kind of subsides when you get above like 70. But it doesn't feel right. And I did the upper control arms, and usually a 55-mile-an-hour shake is always your thrust arms. And you can probably see my wheel right now. It may be hard to tell on camera, but I mean, you can feel it.
Yeah, you can see it.
Like, yeah, you can see it. It's vibrating. Yeah. The car should not feel like this. All the wheel weights are on my wheels. Tie rods I didn't replace, but a tie rod shouldn't really be like this. A tie rod would just be like steering play. There's downtown LA in the distance.
All the smog.
All the smog. So I think one of my brand new Mile HD control arms, especially the right one, I think has kind of failed me prematurely. I think maybe it was bad right out of the box because I feel like I've always been kind of chasing this issue, but it definitely got worse. So I'm gonna be here for like 3 days. Alan has a spot that says they could probably get me a control arm. I'm gonna try to get one and replace it before I head back because I don't want to wear anything else prematurely because of this. And it's honestly just really annoying. So as I mentioned in the video, we kind of assumed I have a bad upper control arm. Luckily, there's a spot local to him that literally had a Lemforder arm in stock. They almost said no, and then he's like, wait, let me check, and they had it. So I got a Lemforder arm, 110 bucks. I got the right-hand side because it really does feel like it's the right side of this car that's messed up, but we'll see. So hopefully this remedies it. So the Mile HD, Miley, whatever, didn't do too good. 55-mile-an-hour shake is back in full effect. So we went with the Lemforder this time. If you guys watched my videos of me building this car, you'll know I said, Mile HD should be fine for the road trip. And yeah, apparently not. But I got a lot of DMs talking about how the quality control just went downhill on a lot of these brands. And a lot of people told me that theirs haven't even lasted 1,000 miles. So kind of interesting. But visually, it doesn't look bad. But if you kind of get in here, and if you watch me, like twist it, if you could even see, probably not. That's me twisting by hand. That's kind of a lot of play for a brand new bushing. So I'm guessing that's probably what's causing the 55-mile-an-hour shake. The ball joint looks good. But, yeah, so we're gonna take this out and then maybe there we could visually inspect it. If you guys are wondering, I did install this properly. I torqued it under load. So I'm not really sure how this prematurely failed. But right now, we're gonna replace this really quick. And then we're gonna have our fingers crossed that the driver's side one's good because I didn't buy it. So pretty stupid to not, but I really don't want to spend like $500 in upper control arms because that's ridiculous. So a ball joint. Do you have a ball joint press or a pickle fork?
Oh,
all right, well that doesn't matter. I should be able to get it without those. So
go around with AutoZone.
We might have to, but we'll see. I'll try it first. So the mile, here's the Lemforder. So Lemforders have an Allen key here for the ball joint, which is nice for tightening it. But if you look at these comparatively, and given I had smacked the hell out of this moves pretty easily compared to this. Like I can't even, same force, I can't even move that one. So, but I did smack it. And then on the inners, I mean, this one definitely wiggles pretty good. But I mean, this one,
a little tighter.
It's a little tighter.
But it still moves.
Still moves. So, weird. That's why people end up going moose heads, because I think just in general, this is just a stupid design. Hard to say if, well, you know, what went wrong here. I guess we'll just pop it in and see if the car drives a little bit better. I mean, these are weird. They work weird, man. It's hard to kind of visually tell. A lot of times the ball joint's gone, but for the car to kind of handle how it's been handling is very odd for an arm that looks this good, and it isn't that bad, but who knows. So I'm going to slap this in really quick and then we're going to go for a test drive and see. We're at 55 right now, and it's not perfect, but I feel like it's a little better. I don't know, I mean, we're right at 55. I mean, it's definitely shaky.
It's not as bad, though.
No, I don't think it's as bad.
It was really bad.
Yeah, no, it got bad. I think,
you know, maybe both of them went out prematurely. We weren't thinking that was going to happen, but
yeah,
that's super weird.
I'm thinking that it probably needs a left one as well. I don't really have time or the patience to want to go and do this again. So at this point, it feels better enough to where I'll probably be able to get home. Then when I get home, I'll reassess and I'll do what I need to do. But I think I'll probably be all right. Should I clutch kick it right here?
Yeah, you could.
Probably should, huh?
Yeah.
For the one time?
For the one time,
See what I can do. So like right here?
Yeah, that's it.
Look at that. Stash cam made me
Old man didn't even notice. What a guy.
Didn't even look up, bro. He's got the headphones on. Hey, we battle tested it and she feels pretty good. Look at me, dude.
Fire.
How was that, Alan?
It's pretty good, actually.
Pretty good, right?
Pretty solid, yeah.
Yeah, I felt that's pretty good control, man.
Josh has some bars.
Yeah, I got some bars apparently. All right, well, we'll call it here and I'll pick this back up probably on my way to Vegas. So. And we are back on the road. So we are heading right now from LA to Las Vegas. I'm gonna do a couple nights in Vegas. I got some homies flying out. So I'll be there vacationing a little bit, doing some gambling. Hopefully I can win big and buy something really cool for the channel. That'd be cool, but we'll see how that goes. So I'm gonna try to not get a gambling addiction on this trip. All right, well, we made it to Vegas. After a little bit of a slowdown on the highway, picked up E-Man from the airport, and now we're hitting the strip in the E34, which is a pretty crazy experience. So, I've never been to Vegas. It's really pretty here, actually. It's actually pretty cool. It's 101 degrees and it's 10 o'clock at night, which is insane. But so now I'm just gonna hit B-roll. We got the Gucci store. We're gonna do some B-roll and we're just gonna cruise the strip, so.
Crash reported ahead on I-15 and in 900 feet. You're still on the fastest route.
And that's a wrap for Las Vegas. Thank God I'm getting out of this shithole, dude. Oh my God. Let me just tell you, if you guys haven't been to Vegas, pretty much a singular drive down the strip, or I guess maybe a walk if you can handle it. It's about all you need.
240.
I'm immediately in standstill traffic, which is fantastic. Anyway, this was basically the last like cool destination that I've never been to. Denver I've been to a million times. But so anyway, like I said earlier, we're just gonna be sending it. So I'll get some time lapse going, but nothing else fun or anything interesting from here on. Made it into Colorado. We're out of the desert. We're out of the 100 degrees. See there, 74 degrees. And one thing I've noticed is, so throughout all my trip with 100-degree temps for hours at a time, this temp gauge never went above the middle mark. Not once did it even go slightly up. It has been that good, the cooling system on this car. But now that we're below 100 degrees, you know, we're into 70s, which is, you know, normal, and with the airflow it's a little cooler. This thing runs super cold with that Stewart water pump. So it's a Stewart pump with a low temp thermostat, stock E34 radiator, stock E34 clutch fan, and she runs nice and cold. So that just goes to show you the Stewart water pump. Every car of these I've owned, it's always dead set in the center. Maybe not, you know, in the heart of winter, but for a 70-degree day to be a little bit low like that, that's a pretty efficient water pump. So I just want to talk about that really quick. The cooling system on this car has been fantastic. I'm so mad I didn't just pull out the camera. I just sat in a monsoon for 30 minutes. I'm finally at the other end. You can see sunlight, but if you look behind me, terrifying. I have never been in that hard of rain driving. 40 miles an hour, hazards on, absolutely brutal. Dude, this last stretch of this trip is really testing me. I'm back in Illinois, and that's a beautiful welcome home, just a torrential downpour. Like brutal, like people were stopping on the side of the road. It was insane. The only plus to that is all the bugs are off my windshield now because rain with wipers gets your windshield pretty clean. Hopefully the front end gets a little cleaned up. But yeah, man, this last stretch is really testing me between my busted fog light, which, oh, I haven't even mentioned. I'll mention that when I get home and I'll show you guys the damage. Last night wasn't optimal, so stay tuned for when I get home in like an hour. Well, 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 if that's not a familiar sight. Here we are. We have officially made it back from our month and a week long cross-country road trip. Dude, I'm exhausted, but I just have to say how proud I am of myself, of the car, how much fun I had, how enjoyable it was. I'm gonna do a full status report video after this one. It'll be its own video. I'm gonna go over the pros of the car, the cons of the car, what bothered me, what the car did well, what I need to address, what damage happened to the car, what I regret doing, what I don't regret doing, you know, parts-wise, all this stuff. But as a brief little conclusion to my drive home trip, the drive home probably tested me more than the entire trip in of itself. Rainstorms, horrible weather in Denver, semi-truck destroying my fog lights. Actually, that's not true, it didn't destroy it. But before I get into it in the other video, you'll notice here I am missing a fog light and my trim, and I have them, so don't worry, they're still here. But My fog light is in 2 pieces, but somehow the lens survived, and my trim is actually perfectly fine, but it was hanging out. So, you guys want to hear the story? So, driving down through, right outside of Omaha, Nebraska, actually. It was like 12 o'clock in the morning. I was trying to get to my hotel room. I'm cruising in the left lane. I'm probably going 90, and there's 2 semis in the right lane, obviously, you know, and one in front of the other. And if you had a brain, you could see that I was gonna fly by them in the left lane. But yet this stupid truck driver decides to get over in the left lane to pass the guy in front of him. Right in front of me. He cuts me off. I had to slam on my brakes, so I'm already pissed off. But not only that, when he's cruising in front of me, obviously I'm right behind him because he just cut me off. He shreds a freaking tire. So next thing I know, I got semi-truck tire getting launched in the air at me. The first one I dodged because I slammed the brakes. The tire broke in like 3 pieces. So the first big chunk comes, I slam the brakes. I think I avoided it. And then the next one comes and it's inevitable. It's coming right for me. And I hear it hit the car. I ride over it. And I'm thinking to myself, dude, my car is probably destroyed. It's a big semi-truck tire. This is like some crazy stuff. Somehow, some way, this car survived. And the only thing that happened was my fog light obviously broke and the bracket broke. So it was hanging down. So I pulled over, took it out. That piece was hanging down, but just from like the impact, that will be able to go back in. The fog light, I'm gonna have to glue the bracket, like part of it's still on there, but I should be able to get that in and together, so I should be able to get all this fixed, no problem. Somehow the bumper didn't crack, somehow my whole front end stayed intact. It must have just barely popped up, messed up the fog, and then it went under the car. It didn't pop a tire, it didn't do any additional damage that I know of. I haven't really looked under the car, but nothing really seemed to be an issue, so I got lucky. But oh crap, I'm showing you my newest project in the back. Anyway, I'm gonna get into the full details of how this car did and all that in the next video. I'm just gonna conclude this video here. I made it home. We are back. My cars are here, and I'm happy to be home, but it's kind of sad because that was such a fun trip. But anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for keeping up and watching this road trip series. I hope you guys enjoyed it like I enjoyed it. It was a freaking blast. So stay tuned for the full status report on this car with the cost breakdown and everything, and I'll see you guys in that video. Peace.